I'm back. How are you guys doing tonight? I'm Laura with Chocolate Designs. Say hi when you jump on. Hit that heart button for me. And if you are not watching live and you don't see a red live button right up here right now, or maybe it's up here, I don't know. Either way, if you don't see a button up there that says live and you're catching the replay, so put exclamation point replay in the comments for me to let me know that you have seen this video. You guys, as usual, in just a second, I will have a keyword for you to type in to grab all the supplies for everything that we're doing tonight so that you can recreate this project, okay? The keyword for tonight for all of you to type in there is chill. C-H-I-L-L, chill. Type chill in the comments, y'all. Let me say hi to all my friends as you guys are jumping on. Hi, Florian. Hey, Terry. Hello, Sissy. Hi, Wendy. Hello, Connie and Mary Jo. Hello, Sue and Christine. Hi, Jackie. Hello, Melinda. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Sissy. Hello, Rachel. Hello, Linda. Hi, Vicki and Leanne. Hello, Sue. Hello, you guys. Chill is the keyword. Hey, Ray. Hey, should I be worried? I have not received my club yet this month. So right now it's only the 19th. If you don't have it by tomorrow, please let me know and I will give you a form to fill out to get a replacement. Hi, Colleen. The 20th of the month, you guys, is the cutoff. If you don't have it by the 20th, we can definitely get you a form to fill out and send out a replacement for that, okay? All right, here we go. So, long story short, y'all, I had 2 messages come in today, and one of them was pertaining to torch paste and questions about how to do torch paste. And the other one was questions about how to fill in and color in this particular transfer. And so I thought to myself, why not do a project with this transfer and torch paste and kind of just practice a little bit and see what we can make happen. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Cassie. So torch paste, if you guys didn't know, is not something that I sell in my store, but it is available on Amazon. It's really awesome stuff, and we're going to use it tonight. I do recommend, though, that if you're going to use this, that you do this in a well-ventilated area, unlike what I'm doing tonight. Do what I say, not what I do. Hi, Holly. Oh, my gosh. Hello to all my friends. Hey, Cassie and Pam. All right, so I've got my paper here just to protect my surface. And tonight we're going to be using one of our Chalk Couture bamboo cutting boards. So when you're using torch paste, you guys, I am going to let you know, torch paste is for wood. It is not recommended for fabrics. You do have to heat this stuff up to at least 700 degrees to get it to do what it needs to do. So if you don't have a heat gun or some kind of heating tool that will heat it to 700 degrees, then it's not going to work, okay? Yeah, so we're outside, absolutely. Well-ventilated area or outside. Hello, Teresa and Lorraine. Hi, Carol. Hi, Belia. How are you guys doing? Did my first Charlie Run Christmas transfer in torch paste, painted him in and gave him to my brother also on the cutting board. Awesome! Now, I'm wondering if I'm going to do this the same way that you did it or not. We're going to find out. But, ooh, this one right here has got a little chip right there in the side, so I think I'm going to turn it over and use this side for the front. Oh, Sissy, I don't think they're going to last until next week. The mini craft boxes that I showed earlier today, we are down to about 20 left right now. And that is it. And if you guys want to get those craft boxes, please grab them. Dottie, I have removed the smoke alarm from this room. Hi, Lise. Hello, Donna. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to paint this first. Hi, Kay. And I'm going to paint this using some Waverly paint. This is Agave. It's a very, very, very beautiful blue color. And look at that. I actually opened this thing without getting all of those little, there they come. I knew they were in there. All those little dried paint up pieces that are on the top of there. So I'm going to use one of my favorite brushes. You guys know these ones right here from Walmart are my favorite. They're stenciling brushes, but they're fantastic for painting. And so we're going to start off with the edge. I'm not going to worry about the back of this. I can always throw a coat of paint on the back of this later. I'm sorry, Sissy. I'm sorry. Girl, I've been working on those boxes for 3 weeks, and I had a lot of money tied up in them, so I had to post them for sale as quickly as I could. So glad that I had the time over the last couple of days to get those done. Y'all, I need to sell them. I need to get them sold. So here we go. I'm going to start with my edges like I always do. And I do this first just so that I can pinch the board between my hands to paint the other sides of it. Yes, I was on earlier, but I was just on to show the reveal of those mini bundles. I didn't do a craft then. Thank you. She says she loves this color. Yes, this one's Agave. Agave by Waverly. You can pick up Waverly paints at Walmart. I've been there so many times in the last week. A ridiculous amount of times. But see, now when I do this last edge, I can pinch it in my fingers just like this. And get that last bit on there. Hi, Chris. So once those are painted up really well on my edges, hello, Mohammed. I can lay this thing down. Hi, Arlene. And now I can paint the top of it without having to worry about anything else. Yes, you're part of the reason why I'm doing this tonight. No, no way will I make 75. Not happening. This one's called Agave. You guys, 50 was too much. It really was. For me, it was too much. And the amount of money out of pocket that it cost me to do 50 was insane, even though they were little mini bundles. You guys, doing more than that is absolutely never going to happen. Never. Never. Hi, Ro. Let's just put it this way, you guys. I could have paid my mortgage. It was a lot. All right. You guys, we're almost done painting this up, and then we're going to give this a good dry and see if we want to put a second coat on here or not. I'm not sure at this moment how well this did. But generally, Waverly gives a really, really good coverage. Oh, somebody said that, huh? I've done it before. So, but not the entire thing was painted. So I don't know. Let's find out tonight. They're $40, Florine, plus $7.50 flat rate shipping. Because some of y'all live in areas where shipping is super expensive to ship to you, and other people live in areas where it's not so much. So I kind of went in the middle to make it a flat rate a little bit. Tried to even it out. Thank you. Yeah, we are going over it kind of a second time. It's soaking in really, really well to this. You're welcome. All right, and then I'm just going to go back over it one last time. Make sure that that's nice and smooth. And I think that looks good. I think that looks amazing. I love the color so much. And I think once we dry it, I'm going to love it even more. Because remember, you guys, your paint's always going to dry a little bit darker than it goes on. Thank you. All right, here we go. We're going to dry it up with just a regular old. Oh, I missed that, Carol. You got a great hug from your great-granddaughter who, what was that? See? Who is 2 years old, and I did not expect it to, because she had never met me. Oh, that's so nice. Hi, Misty. How was your live tonight, girl? You guys, if you're not watching, it's dripping off the front edge. Thank you. If you're not watching Misty, please go on there and like her page as well. And follow some of her creations. I think I got it. I guess we'll go back around the edges one more time just to make sure there's no drips. So on Friday, we did celebrate Evan's birthday a little bit more with him. John took him golfing. And then we had a little bit of a movie night while actually we started a movie and everybody fell asleep. Except me. And I had already seen it before. Hi, Corey. All right, I want to make sure that this is really, really, really dry. Good. I'm so glad. I want to make sure that this is really, really, really dry before we move on to our next step, okay? All right. Here we go. Really dry, really dry, really dry. All the way around just to make sure that I don't get any of that Waverly paint in my transfer. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some surface wax on here because we are going to put our transfer down over top of a painted surface. And for some, oh, there it is. Misty, post your link in the comments. Or you can log in as your page and then come back to my live. If you want to, then they can just click on it. The follow button will be next to your name, and they can just click to follow. Hello, everybody. All right, we're going to do some surface wax on here. You don't need a lot of surface wax, you guys. If you can see the wax build up. Elizabeth, my heat tool is from Amazon. Hi, Carlene. It's a Ranger heat tool. But that one right there is not for doing the torch paste. That's just for drying. That will not work for torch paste. And hopefully it does work on a painted surface. We're going to find out together tonight. I know that some people really struggle with the torch paste because they're so afraid of it. And I am seriously moving my camera. You guys, I'm dancing back and forth. I can see it. This is the bamboo cutting board. How to Train Your Dragon, the live. Ooh! My daughter wants to see that. Is that out in the movie theater? Her page only says add friend. Ooh, I'll have to check that out. Tracy, go ahead and do that though. To see what's going on with her page then. We can take a look at that. What would I recommend? As far as a heat tool for torch paste? As far as what, Elizabeth? My own grandson Colton, he talked his grandpa's ear. I do love my my Ranger for drying though. Yeah, this is the chalk bamboo cutting board, you guys. And I just painted it with agave and Waverly. Put a little bit of surface wax on here. Now I'm buffing that surface wax back off. You don't need a ton of it. You just want it to be on there so that your transfer doesn't overstick and pull that up, okay? Okay, it is, okay, it's on Peacock. I don't have Peacock. Hi, Bobby. All right, let's go ahead. You used the chalk heat gun and you actually got it to work. But did it get all the way black? Because the chalk heat gun does not get up to hot enough for what the recommendation is for the back of the torch paste. I'll show you what I've got and we'll take a look at how fast it works. Hi, Christine. All right, so here we go, you guys. This is our transfer. I got questions about this today and how to paint this in. So we're going to do this together tonight. Hi, Christy. I'm doing well. How are you? Glad to be back to crafting, you guys. This is my outlet. This is how I relax at the end of the night. Because I'll tell you what, it sure beats laundry and dishes. By far. All right, giving this a really, really, really good fuzz. Now we're actually going to use this twice. Okay. So the first time that we use this, I'm only looking at the snowman. That's it, but it is going to fit on here just as it shows. Hi, Tammy. I'm going to leave the design just as is. I'm not going to move anything around. We're going to do the words over here in torch paste. We're going to do our snowman. This is a Chalk Couture bamboo cutting board. All right, so there are certain parts of this that I want to do in the color that's going to stay on here. And then there's other parts of this that I want to kind of blend into my background. So let's pull our colors out here. The one that I found that I think is going to blend into the background the most, maybe stand out a little bit, is Ocean Mist. It's okay to me if it stands out a little bit, because if I don't get the transfer laid back down on there perfectly, it's going to kind of look like it's got a highlight going around it. So I'm all right with that. We're going to use, let's see, not this one yet. We're going to use Ocean Mist. We are going to use Espresso right now. And we're going to use Bright White. We're just starting with these three colors. We're going to get them all laid out here, ready to go. Just like so. Hi, Carol. And I'm going to grab some squeegees. All right. So we're going to go ahead and look at this transfer, and we're going to see the parts where it just needs to be chalk color. So to me, the ones that I don't want to burn, I just want them to be the right color. So it'll be brighter than the background color, so it would be a highlight. If it's a brighter color than the background color, it's a highlight. If it's a darker color, it'd be shadow. All right. So the snowflakes that are going around here, we're going to have white. So we're going to go ahead and make those white now. See if I can hold this up there. Okay. Those we're not going to burn, because anything that you burn is definitely going to be black. His stick hands, we're not going to burn because we want those to be brown. So we're going to go ahead and chalk those right now with the espresso. And then all the rest of the snowman, we're going to paint in. And then we're going to, because it's the outline of him, and then we're going to burn the outline back in. Okay? At least we're going to attempt this. So I'm going to start off with the Bright White, and we're going to do all of these little snowflakes. And if you're new to my page, these are reusable silkscreen transfers. This is chalk paste that I'm using. And all you got to do when you're done is just wash them up, and then you can reuse them over and over and over again. So I'm just going over the parts in white that I want to be white, and then I'll make other colors for different sections. So all of those snowflakes right there are going to be white. Yes! Perfect! Perfect, yes. Now I can see that you're on here as your page. All right, we're going to take espresso. And we're going to do his hands. You guys, worst case scenario, if the torch paste doesn't work, I can lay this back down and do it in black. But I like the torch paste, and I want to demonstrate that tonight so that y'all can see it. And the effect that it has. All right, let me see if I can get in here close enough. All right, there's that. And then I'm going to go over the rest of him with Ocean Mist. And this should dry to be lighter than the background color. Chill is the key word. Hey, Christy. Thanks for typing that in. Grab the supply list for all the things I'm using tonight. Be sure that you click through all those links. Check out all my information. Information is free, y'all. Tutorials are free. Information is free. Come here to learn, and it costs you nothing. There goes that ding. It was probably somebody ordered a box. I feel like it's every time that something happens on my phone and I forget to put it on silent mode, that's when we get the dings. You need to do more on your page? Do it up, girl. I feel like I have been nowhere on my page for the last couple of days, and I apologize to you guys for that. I've just been so busy trying to get things done. To get these boxes ready for you. I know you guys have been waiting for them for quite a while now. Been talking about them. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull this up. Oh, some of my stars started to dry. I should have done the paste and pull, but that's okay because we're going to lay the transfer back down and we can redo those in white again. Not that big of a deal. But now you guys can see my snowman there. And he kind of blends into the background a little bit, but you can definitely see him to color him in. Yay! Hi, Bunny. Okay, I'm going to lay this down on a towel. We're going to get this just soaking right now for a second in some water. And then we're going to come back in and clean this in just a bit. Okay. You guys, let's get this all dried up. I should have done paste and pull. Hi, Mary. But I'm going to get a second opportunity to go back over those, so it's not even that big of a deal. We can make that happen. All right, we're going to get this nice and dried up. I do love that background color. And now we're going to work on painting in our snowman, okay? So I'm going to use bright white again. We don't need the espresso or that ocean mist anymore. I'm going to use a little bit of cherry, which needs some water, you guys. This is very, very dried out for my cherry. And the background color is agave, and it's a Waverly color. I'm going to add water, I think, to all the caps of these where I can for painting. And we're also going to use, hi Amy, we're also going to use this color here. It's called Ash. Ash. Also, yeah, Ash. All right, and now we can get ready. Hi, thank you, Donna. Now we can get ready to start painting this stuff in. So we're going to start off with, gosh, I have so many brushes, I never know which one to use. Let's go with this one. Sure, looks good to me. All right, I always want to work from the top part and work my way down so that I'm not putting my hand through the paint that I'm doing. The word for tonight is chill, C-H-I-L-L. And we're going to use the outline that we did in Ocean Mist as our color block area. I'm missing comments and I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Now, anything that's been, oh, you guys, I always forget that when you do wax, you actually need less water with your paste because water and wax don't mix very well. So we may have to go over this a couple of times to get it to really go. But we can definitely make it happen. So I'm doing his hat in ash just because I want it to stand out from the black outline. Hi, Kay. And just painting him in with some watered down chalk paste and trying to stay in those lines. Ooh, hoo, hoo. So far he's looking good. I'm going to leave that area right there for some red. And you can even mix your colors and add some highlight and some shadows on all this stuff if you want to, depending on how good of an artist you are and how detailed you want it to be. You do you as far as your painting goes. And if you get on the line, that's not a big deal. Oh, thank you so much, you guys, for welcoming our newbies, for the compliments. I don't think tonight's going to be a silly night, though, you guys. I am feeling just overworked and run down lately. Me need some sleep. All right, there's our ash color for the hat. That's all I'm doing is add in ash is just that hat. And since I sprayed distilled water inside here, I can just turn this right back over and let that water just go in there, and it's going to help. You love using it? Me too. I tend to always go for the angled ones when I can. All right, let's go for this nose. In papaya. Papaya is my favorite orange for doing carrots and carrot noses. Gosh, that seems really, really thick right there. Let me see if I can grab some out of the jar instead. Oh, my papaya is thick. Thick, thick, thick. All right, let's go for it. Let's go for it. Ooh, that looks good. And if it doesn't cover well enough, you can always come in and give it a second coat. Or make it thicker. The more I brush it, the more it's wanting to not cover. There we go. That's all we're doing with the papaya, you guys. Just that little bit there. You guys are so awesome to welcome our new friends. I love it. All right, now we're going to move on to our white. So our snowman body is white. And we can go right over top of those buttons and everything else. We don't have to worry about anything that's inside the outside side coloring line, if that makes sense. I was using a fillet knife last night and took the tip off. Oh my gosh, Tracy. You gotta be careful. Girl. Okay, so just going to the outside line, like I said, you can color right over top of all of that. The mouth, the eyes. We're just trying to get the color filled in for his head. And since I waxed, it's not wanting to go on there quite as easily. But it will go down if you just kind of work at it. Girl, accidents happen. I don't know why I'm being such a perfectionist right now, but I really want to make sure that I get this to look really, really good. All right, that was the hard part, just getting around that. Yes, this is a cutting board. This is the bamboo cutting board. We're going to attempt to torch paste a painted surface. Never use a fillet knife to cut cabbage. Girl, save that fillet knife for some steak. All right, I think I got it, you guys. There were some spots on his face that just didn't want to cover it, like I said, because of that surface wax being on there. Water and wax don't mix very well. But we got it. We got our snowman face. We got more snowman to cover. But down here is simple because I don't have to worry about... I don't have to worry about the lines between the two sections there at the bottom. That's what your son said. Girl, steak. You guys, I went to the grocery store the other day and trying to buy just meat for the family. And that's when I realized, y'all, it is cheaper by the pound for me to feed my family baby back ribs than it is to get 2 pounds of hamburger and to make a meatloaf. That's insane. So I said, John, we're going to be having baby back ribs more often. Because burger is expensive. And I'm not so sure I want to buy burger anymore. I missed it, you guys. I hate when I miss comments. Say a prayer. I missed it. Say a prayer for my daughter. She's having surgery tomorrow. And Tuesday, I start a new chemo. Oh, Bobby, definitely send in prayers for you, hon. Definitely. We got a whole team of prayer warriors here. These women are amazing. Okay. Last little bit. The bottom section of the snowman is the easiest part. Just got to get it in and get it to cover. And you could always go over this with more coats if you want to, just to make sure that you get that good coverage. For time purposes, I'm only going to do 1 coat. Even though some of that blue might come through. Okay, thank you, Danielle. All right, last but not least, you guys, a red color for the band on his hat and the scarf. Okay, and then that's how he gets colored in. Ooh, I want another angled brush. I love my angled brushes, you guys. They're my favorites. Monday, I'll go to Amish Farmer for my meat. Monday, I'll have pasta and... Does she go back and answer questions? So, Magnolia Creations. Generally, no. These are my favorite brushes, though. They're my all-time favorite, and I do have a link to them. If you'd like the link, please send me a message. You guys, it's really hard for me when I go late, like I go live so late at night, and I have kids in school, to go back and answer questions. So if I miss your question, please send it to me in a message. And either tonight or first thing in the morning, I will send you our message back and I will respond. I'm fantastic about responding to messages. I am horrible about going back and reviewing all comments on a live video. to try to see what I missed. It's just, yeah. You guys, I just can't. I try to keep up with it while I'm live, but I miss some. And I just can't keep up. Yeah. Thank you. Definitely send me a message if you guys need anything, okay? Oh, I must have more surface wax right here where my paint's not thick enough. Because it's not wanting to cover. You guys see what it's doing there? It's kind of pooling. And not wanting to stay, but just keep going over it. Eventually it will cover. It's just because of the wax that it does that. Right? I know. It is hard. It's very hard. But they can tell you that I am really good at making sure that I respond to my messages. And get back to people with their questions. Thank you, everyone. All right, here we go. Yeah, I've tried. Listen, I go on there and I'm like, holy crap, 800 messages. Nope. Or 800 comments. Nope. Not doing it. Not going through all that. I apologize, y'all. That overwhelm would just, it would, oh, I don't know. That would totally throw me into panic mode. Okay, we got it covered. Yay! No, there are still kits left, you guys. Last I checked, there were about 20 left before I came on here, out of 50. They're not going to last much longer. Thank you. All right, you guys, here we go. Let's dry this up. Oh, thanks, Tracy. I will be there at the next ChalkCon, without a doubt. It takes time, Kim. It takes time. I am 4 years into lives, almost 6 days a week for 4 years. It takes time. Do I always use chalk paste for everything? No. No, I don't. I do use Waverly a lot. What kits? I made some craft embellishment kits with just a big selection of craft embellishments. They're mini kits though compared to what I normally do. And on my page right now in the pinned comments, you'll find a link to those if you want to grab one. They're usually a pretty big seller for me. So I made 50 this time because last time not everybody got one that wanted one. Hello, everybody! How much are the tickets to attend ChalkCon? They have not announced any information for ChalkCon for this year yet, and they won't for a while. So it's going to depend on the venue and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's too soon to tell. Too soon to tell. All right, you guys, I'm going to set that aside over here. And we're going to come back to our transfer, and we got to get this guy cleaned up. Thank you, Bunny. We're going to get this cleaned up. So I do need my board eraser. Where is it? There it is. It's on the ground. Now, these are currently out of stock, you guys. And it said that they were going to come back late October, but they're not back yet. Well, you guys, I only have a few left. No, I do not do cutouts. I do not do cutouts. I am one of the few Chocolate Tour Designers, who is staying away from that whole avenue. Yes, they were. They were about $250-ish. I don't remember exactly. But like I said, it depends on the venue that they pick and a bunch of other stuff. So, all right, I just wipe that down with a piece of paper towel. And then I'm going to come back in with my jar of water. If you go on my page right now, then the video before this one has got the reveal of those kits, and you can see everything that's inside of them. They're all just embellishments. They're not cutouts. They're just embellishments. I mean, I guess there's a couple of cutouts in there, but they're bought, and they're not ones that I made. All right, so we just went over the top of that with our board eraser. I'm going to dry it up again with a paper towel, and then we're going to just flip this right over. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side with our board eraser, okay? I don't know why I'm doing the chill part. I didn't do anything on there. You don't do so well flying? I'm hoping it's closer to me this year, too. I would just prefer to not have to fly. You know, if they did it in Detroit or Ohio or oh, I don't know, Chicago would be great. Then I could just drive. All right, so as you guys see, once you clean them up, they're super, super sticky again. Thank you, Christy. And I'm just gently drying this with a little bit of heat just because I don't want any of that tap water left on here from cleaning it. I do clean with tap water. And then I'm going to put this back down here and just... Your husband cuts on wood? Wisconsin would be all right, I think. You've never flown? Girl, it's an experience, I tell you what. All right, you guys, here we go. We're going to go ahead and fuzz this again because we just washed it. I do think I'm going to get that bright white back out again to go over those stars because I have another opportunity to do that. And we're going to line this right back up where it was. We're going to do the best we can to line it up perfectly. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't. With our snowman. The great thing is that you can see through the transfer. So a lot of times you're able to get it right on or at least fairly close to. And I think this time I got it close to, but not exactly perfect. I'm going to try one more time. Perfection. I'm from Michigan. Flown your whole life. Hope to get to Choctaw this year. I didn't get... Oh, I would too. I would love to see the home office too. Not a fan of Chicago. Florida would be great, but that's where we're going to go for the cruise this year. We're going to be leaving out of Florida. All right. You guys, here we go. This is our torch paste. It's orange, y'all. It's orange. The great thing about torch paste, though, is that it does not dry super fast. So for those areas that I need to go back over with, I'm going to go over those last. Okay? And we're going to grab our torch paste for any place that we want it to be black. And like I said, let's try it on a painted surface. Hopefully it works. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't work. So we're going to do the area that says, well, let's do the snowman first. And it's going to look clear, like you didn't even get it done. And it's kind of tacky, kind of goopy. A lot of designs lately require painting. I've noticed that too, Pam. And honestly, I wish they didn't. Because it takes a while to paint them in. But you're right, quite a few of the designs lately do require painting. Must just be a popular thing right now. Hi, Becky. So you guys, I'm actually meeting up with another designer tomorrow for lunch. She just joined my team and she doesn't live very far from me. So we're going to do a lunch date and talk about what it is that she wants to get out of her business. And I'm super excited to get to meet her. And I figure we can go out to lunch while I drop off a bunch of packages at the post office. For all of y'all who got one of those bundles today. All right, once again, we're going to go over this with our torch paste in these areas. And then we're going to get all of that excess torch paste off and put it back in our jar. Hi, Karen. Someday I'll get to meet Becky. Oh, this stuff is much more sticky than our chalk paste, I'll tell you that. Much more sticky. So we're just going to move this right over to where the words are at. So I have two kids. I have a 10-year-old daughter and a 8-year-old son. He just turned 8 on Friday. My daughter is very crafty, but not the same kind of crafty that I'm crafty. She's a puppeteer, a dragon puppeteer. She makes hand puppets out of cardboard and other stuff. She's constantly coming in here to borrow my craft supplies or to take them from me. And my son's just more of the wild guy who likes, to be outside. And we've got a zip line and a whole bunch of stuff in our backyard that he just likes to play on. He's more my adventure kid. All right, so there's the torch paste done on that area there. Completely washable off of our transfers. And then I'm going to go back over my white areas where that, where my snowflakes were, just to get those nice and crisp. Since they kind of dried on me. I think that was probably because my surface was still warm from drying the chalk paint when we first painted it. And I have a couple spots right here that didn't quite cover as well as I wanted them to too. So this is the time where I can come back and kind of fix that up a little bit. All right, you guys. Are we ready for this? Are we ready? It's all painted in. Let's pull it up. Let's see what we've got. Our snowflakes are bright white now. Karen, this is the bamboo cutting board. And I'm just going to give this a wiggle. Just like so, and get that right off of there. You can see where the torch paste is at. Am I making Christmas? I'm not making Christmas placemats right this second. I don't know if I will or not. I literally plan my live projects like 30 minutes before I actually come live. It's quick. Unless I have an idea and then I write it down. And I'm like, oh, I'll do that one tomorrow. And then 4 days later, I finally remember it again. All right. So you can see where the torch paste is at. And it's kind of clear. Did I miss a little bit on the bottom? Nope, I think I got it all. Maybe a teensy bit, but I think I got it all. So it's kind of clear looking. Carol, let's see if it works first. I do, Sue. I do. And I think that I'm going to have to get one of my own. So you guys, this right here, it gets warm, but it does not get warm enough to heat set. It does get warm enough to dry all of your paste, all of your colors, and that torch paste, but it's not hot enough to actually activate the torch paste. You need a heat tool that's at least 700 degrees to do the job the right way. And this does not do it. And it will not do it. It just won't. I mean, as long as I hold it on there, it's not going to do it. Are you an art? Me? No, I'm not an art teacher. I just teach chalk. This is my only job. This is what I do. I teach you guys. All right, so that one won't work, you guys. So I go into my garage, and I didn't plug it in yet. And I get John's big old industrial one. You guys, this is the heavy duty one that does the job. This one right here will get 750, 950, 1150, 1350 degrees. This thing will get hot. Hot, hot, hot. And you guys, last time I did a project with this thing, we ended up losing power. And the whole neighborhood went out as soon as I turned this thing on, and my live video shut off. And it was just a fluke thing, and it was so weird. So weird. So hopefully I don't make the whole power grid go out right now. I don't think that I will. But we're going to turn this thing on. And I have it set... Whoops. Shucks. I have it set for 750 degrees. We're going to go on high. Torch paste is available on Amazon. On Amazon. And we're going to give this a good heat. So it's going to start off this color. And it's going to go from the color that it was, and it's going to turn white. Okay? It's going to turn white first before it goes to black. That's just how it works, y'all. So keep it moving. Get it hot. You'd be scared it would bubble the paste. I've done it over top of paste before, and it didn't hurt it at all. So let's try over here and see what happens. My cord is not quite long enough to really get what I want it to do. And you're right, it is bubbling the paste a little bit, the paint. It is. But I still think chalk has torch paste. No, we don't. We don't have a torch paste on our site. Not one on the site. We're going to keep moving it around, you guys. It's going to work. It's starting to work. It's getting like orange. It's going from a white to an orange. And then it's going to turn black. So on the nose there, it's starting to turn black already. On the mouth, it's turning black. We're just going to keep it moving. And you don't want to stop until it's turned black. Okay, I think I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit. And I'm going to go to 850. Yeah, we have etching cream, but not torch paste. Okay, I turn the heat to 850. You guys, look at that. It's not sticking, you guys. My chill just came off. You guys, maybe on top of painted surface is not going to work. It's working now right there. Oh my gosh, what happened to my chill? I think I dried it too much and just didn't finish it right there. Yep, it's starting to turn the color on the mouth. I'm getting the wording now. And I think I'm just going to paint the etching cream back right in there for this where the C was at so we can finish it. But this is what it should do, you guys. It should turn all the way black. Probably should have let it dry by itself. Or shouldn't have gone to a different spot before it was finished. It could be because the surface was waxed. It could be. But that part right there worked. So let's do the rest of it if we can, and then I'll come back and fix it. Yes, you can go back and touch up the other areas. But don't stop until it turns all the way black, you guys. If you stop prematurely, then it's not finished yet. It is. I noticed that too. It's changing the paint color. This eye experiment, you guys, I'll tell you that. And you definitely should do this in a well-ventilated area. Okay, so if it's not black, I've noticed that too. It's changing the blue, and it's what a kind of a neat effect, isn't it? It very well could be because of the wax. All right, let's see if we can get his body to do what it's going to do. There it goes, you guys. All right, Christy. Have a good night. The fumes can be strong, yes. Now our snowman's going. And we're getting that awesome black outline. But some of it did flake off. And I wish it hadn't, so I'm going to come in back in afterwards and I'm going to touch this up. But look at how cool that is, you guys. Yes, I can definitely paint more torch paste right there, or I can lay my transfer back down and fill in those areas. So I will have to fix those areas. I have no idea, Janet. I took this from John. I have no idea what he paid for it. So now I gotta let this thing cool down. It will not turn off until it has self-cooled. It just won't. It didn't work my cutting board. No, it's my mat that worked. My cutting board is not worked. It's my mat. And as my mat cools, then it will go back down. So you guys, it didn't work as perfectly as I had hoped it would. Over the wax, I shouldn't have waxed it apparently. So it definitely has its imperfections. And I'm going to have to fix it. I'm going to have to fix it. But it was an experiment tonight just to see what would happen over paint. It did kind of work. So you would burn first and then you went in and painted it in. So that's another way that you could do it, y'all. So if this was perfect and the way that I absolutely wanted it, which I'm going to have to fix a little bit of it, then in order to seal this, to be completely done, I would take this stuff here. That'll turn off in a minute. Now I know for the next time. It did work on the painted surface. I think it was just the wax that didn't want it to stick to the wax. So we won't do wax again next time, you guys. Lesson learned. But this is what I would use to seal it. This is available at Home Depot. It's a butcher block oil finish. And sealing it with this is food safe, you guys. So if you put a couple of coats of this on here, then it'll make this food safe. Man, that really worked this thing, didn't it? It's this thing that's worked though, not the board. Then it would be food safe and you guys could absolutely use this as an actual serving tray. And when I was getting ready to do this, I was thinking to myself, you need to chill on the cutting board would also look awesome with a glass of wine. So we do have some wine transfers and I was like, that would be great for all year long, right? You need to chill on with wine because you guys know wine needs to chill. So there it is, you guys. I even like how it changed the background different colors. You need a stronger heat tool. That one right there at 850 degrees is definitely great. I will end up putting this matte and sandwiching this between two things today. Yeah, it worked on the paint. It just needs to have, it needs to not be waxed. You guys, I really think that that was the issue that we had with it, was the wax. So, to avoid that, don't wax, but instead just work a little bit faster with your paste and do the paste and pull method a little bit more often. Okay? All right, you guys. The sealer is from Home Depot, and it's Butcher Block. It's Butcher Block Oil and Finish. And that's what I would put over top of there, and I'd do a couple of coats. Yep, just like that, you guys. Butcher Block Oil and Finish. And it says right on here, safe for food contact. Got yours at Hobby Lobby. Your heat tool for $35. That's a good deal. That's a really good deal. So you guys, there's our not quite perfect project for tonight. A couple of lessons learned tonight, but you know what? If we're not experimenting, then we're not learning. And if I'm willing to do the experiment, then you guys can learn from my mistakes and know exactly what to do to make yours perfect. Yeah, the ash did smear right there on the bottom of the snowman. It did. When I put my finger on it and I tried to blow it off, it did smear a little. It did, Pam. But you guys, I still think it's super cute. And the torch paste did for sure work on those words you need to chill, which is good, right? And it also did work on the snowman. You can see that outline is definitely black. So there we have it, y'all. Thanks so much for watching tonight. That's it for me. I've got some cleaning up to do, and I need to get some sleep tonight. So I will be back here again tomorrow night. If you guys do have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. For some of you, you already have tracking numbers available in your emails for your boxes. I will get some more of those ready to ship out tomorrow morning, or the rest of them. You'll have tracking numbers by tomorrow morning, okay? All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching tonight, and I will see you guys back here again tomorrow. Let me know if you have any questions, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Okay, bye, everybody. Have a good night.